Ngā mihi mahana ki a koutou. I'm Maggy Rakena, I'm the manager at Start, and because we're running behind, Catherine, who's our clinical practice manager, has to run back to an appointment, so she's going to say a quick hello.
Hello. So I'm Catherine Gallagher. I'm the clinical practice manager and a clinical psychologist who's been at Start for about 4 years. And as Maggie goes through our services and talks about especially our consult service, I'm probably the person who's going to be at the end of the phone or potentially be available for those. So just really wanting to emphasise the accessibility of information and support through that consult service. And as I said, just putting a face to the name so that if you ring in, it'll probably be me, and I'll probably be hanging around a bit longer than I am today.
Kia ora, Catherine. Sorry about that. Okay, Start's been around similar length of time as other services that have been talking in this space, 27 years, coming up 30. So we are Christchurch based, but we have people coming from quite a lot of the South Island to visit us. We're a specialist service dealing with sexual abuse with a specialism in working with children and youth, but we work with all ages. People often don't know we work with adults as well. And we work in a systemic approach where we work with families too. Sexual violence doesn't just affect the person who has been touched or offended against, it affects the people in their lives as well. So we're a typical NGO, charitable trust. All our staff are paid and trained, and it's quite complex and specialised work, so we don't sadly have students or beginner people working for us. Our three core services in the community are the counselling and consultation and community education, and I'll talk a little more about those. So our services at this point in time are free of charge. It's been quite a battle to ensure that that's the case, but that's our commitment, that we've been able to achieve that. I do have up there that we operate from a homely community setting. The reality is we've been given notice on our premises and we don't actually have a home, but I'm sure we'll get one. So we provide interventions for children, youth, adults and non-abusing family members. We work closely in partnership with STOP. Because we're a specialist service, it's really important that we contextualise ourselves in the broader setting. Our people don't often just have sexual violence incidences in their lives. They have other problems as well. So we sit in the SPA space, social service providers Aotearoa, which umbrellas all the generic social services in town, have strong connections there. We're a partner to Right Services, Right Time. And we also sit in the national network of SPA and the national network of sexual violence services. And it's really important that we have all those layers thought through. So I understand we just have to jump over STOP to get to us again. Oh, gosh, we've got lots of slides there. So if I think about our referral criteria for those who are deemed to be children under the law, so under 17 years of age, we've got some really particular referral criteria, and we've revisited those a number of times over the years, but come back to deciding that they're really important criteria for us to have. I need to just be really clear to say they're different for adults. Anybody can refer themselves if they have a sexual violence incident. But for children, it's our belief that we need to have these criteria. The first one is that there's a formal disclosure to police or SIFs. SIFs and police are the only agencies in New Zealand who are mandated to do investigations. So lots of people won't have that in place when they make contact with us, but we'll navigate that with them. It's about protecting the children's rights. Often if it comes to a matter in the family court, if there isn't a formal disclosure, it's really difficult to keep the children safe. There's a whole lot of reasons, and it's also about making sure the people who are trained to investigate do their task. So then when the referral is made to us, we make a request through to the police child protection team and get a report. So that person doesn't have to keep telling their story too, which is really important. So we get the information and it's known what's happened to them before they come to us. The other thing is that they are safe from the person they say is offended against them. So it seems pretty logical that you might not want to be seeing the person who's hurt you, but if it's your 10-year-old brother, it's not quite that easy. So that's quite a process to navigate the non-contact. But it's just our belief that that's the way that people heal from a trauma, is if they have a little bit of space. It's not never and forever, it's for a time so that you can navigate the effects of the trauma. The other thing is that we need them to have an adult to support them and to come along to the work with them, and we include families on the therapeutic process because we're just an hour in the week of the kid's life. The family is really the main healing structure. So it's also a bit of a Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If they don't know where they're sleeping or where they're going to have their dinner tonight, they need to have those things sorted out first before you start thinking about doing the recovery work. So get some basics in order, and then we move into the healing from the abuse. So consultation appointments, as Catherine's, turn on the slide. Long story short, anybody can ring us up, and they do, over the phone or in person, and just come and chat through a concern about sexual matter. People often don't know where to begin to think about something concerning sexually, and we find that people err on the side of two ends of the spectrum, and that they underreact and kind of just fob anything off as just normal old stuff, or else they overreact at the mere mention of something sexual, and they panic. So we're in the process of trying to keep things a bit more balanced and trying to really analyse and think things through. So you can ring up anonymously. Any of your clients can ring up anonymously. We speak to people every day, lots of times a day, about matters of concern, and we can just help you try to navigate how to process something. So it's a free service, and you'll get Catherine's a clinical psychologist at the end of the phone, and we know the systems really well, and we can help try and sort through that concern. So education is another part of our core business, and we do lots of workshops with school staffs, like Don's talked about. Talking about this topic just has such a big emotional reaction. It's quite a hard one for people to get their head around, and so doing some community education, we do tailor-made packages for people. So our other core element of our work is the therapy. Our counsellors are ACC accredited, and so that's how we gain the fees to pay for the work. So quite a few hoops to jump to become ACC accredited in this field. We work with the primary client, but also include and involve the people in their lives that they need to help support them. We recognise the family as the main support structure, really. We're committed to systemic approaches. Lots of people have lots of problems in their lives. You can't just focus on one thing. You need to think about things in a broader sense. There's something else I was going to say, but it's completely gone out of my head. How to contact us. We have a website. Anyone can make contact. As I say, we would work through those criteria for children to be referred, but any adult can make referral. So any gender, any ethnicity, any age, that's our service. Thank you.